and I did not go to work for them. I made it all on that little sewing machine.
Right there. Still doing it.
Still doing it.
60 since 1960.
Since 1960.
I won't lie, in this world, man, you need school. What you sow is what you reap. The price of even making it, you know it's not cheap. Never mind the lights, you can sacrifice sleep. Put your best out there, see results in a week. Preach. I don't think they know.
Okay, what's up, everyone? Here we are, another beautiful day in paradise. As you can see, it's a very clear sky out. Well, it was raining a little bit ago, but it's now getting warm enough, nice enough out to start doing stuff more outside every day. So I decided today, I woke up and I was like in my mind thinking about the Hercules bike and how cool it is and how much it deserves more respect than it's been given so far by me. I did bring it inside, and it's right here, stored for now. But I do want to clean it up today. And basically I'm going to bring it out right onto that pallet that's right there. If you can see on the back porch. Prop it up on there, blow the tires up, and I'm going to clean it, rub it down, and then I'm going to use, I may or may not use this rust stripper stuff. Once I put it on a piece and see how it feels, I don't want to damage the bike at all, but I do want to try to clean it as much as possible to get it back to normal. It's worth, I think it's worth 800, maybe. The one other one that I can find, the only other one that I can find, is posted for 700, and it's in way worse condition than this. I'm going to just get it out there so we can start getting this going. So I'm just bringing it out. But this is like one of those dream scores that you'd be happy to find at a yard sale for like even $200, and I would still probably buy it. So, well, it's heavier than it looks though. They used to make stuff more durable. Well, I guess in England they do probably still than we do here. Well, I guess nothing's made here, so I'm gonna put it up on this pallet, blow the tires up. I think they're holding air, I'm pretty sure. And then I'm just going to do a wipe down of it. And I'm going to show you guys the rust stuff that I may or may not use. Probably am going to use because I think it'll clean up this whole area here. Maybe the tires. Let's just see what we can do to make this better. Alright, let's pop this Dreamer up on here. Just like that. This is a lot easier to work off of when it's up on this surface here. But since the tires are so flat, the kickstand's not really allowing it to hold it, which kind of stinks. So I don't know what to say about that. I guess I can't use the kickstand. Might have to just lay it flat. I got an idea. Use some wood to put in the pallet, and then I can put the kickstand down. This thing actually looks really majestic up on here. So it is not the original seat, which is a little bit of a bummer, but everything else is original. Still got the nameplate on the front. Nottingham, England. It has the twin shift shifters. Paulding Cycle Store Inc. White Plains, New York. It's probably where it was bought from. That's pretty cool. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Alright, before I do anything, I'm basically just going to fill up the tires and just see how they're holding air. Because if this thing's rideable, ready to ride as is, maybe we'll take it for a spin. Alright, since I had the air pump out, I put air in the tires of the yellow Schwinn, and they're both holding air too. So, gonna try and get this one on maybe local marketplaces first. This one might have to go on eBay. But I'm gonna just show you guys what I'm actually gonna use to see if I can get the rust off of at least the Hercules. I did just post this one on Facebook. I actually thought this was an older bike than it was. I think it said from 2006, 2007 this came out. So I put it up for 120 because normally they're like 200 to 300 around. This was not outside, just so you guys know. I just put it there. Whoa. So I think that in here is not where I put that stuff. Where did I put that stuff? So this is what I'm gonna try on here. I've used it before. It worked wonders. Never used it on a bike. Don't want to scrape off that though. Let's just see. But you're supposed to let it sit for a little bit before you start messing with it. But I can already see that it's from just my finger on there that it's taking off rust. So like this would be the best area to use it, I think. It's like where it's really rusty. I'm gonna just do my best to try and make this as clean as I can. Alright, so most spots that were unpainted on these bikes are what got rusty. Most of the area that was painted remained not rusty, really. So, see how the handlebars have all this rust on here? I'm gonna shoot this with this stuff, hit it, and then wait, like it says, 30 minutes, I guess, and see what it does. So as you guys can see how rusty it is right now, hopefully we'll be able to see a big difference in a little bit. This is my first time really ever trying to do any restoration at all on a bike, so bear with me. Alright, so this stuff is literally, well, I use a wire brush. I got these from AutoZone, a set of 3, and I want to say they were less than $10. I actually pretty much know they were. I've used these before. This is the middle stiffness of the 3 different ones that you get in the pack. But if you guys can see, well, how rusty it was originally, and now I'm just wire brushing it, and then I'm going to wipe it off. Wait a second, this is really just going to make this thing sparkle. Let's see this. I'll wipe it down in a second. So, oh man, look at that. There's basically no more rust on there. I know this is very time consuming, and I'm not the first person that's done this, obviously, before. There's probably 1,000 videos online that are more informative than this. But I did just totally clean off that whole section there. And see how there's just rust all on here? It was even way worse before I sprayed it. That side's just totally clean. So this on, what I did basically, I put this on. I'll show you a little piece here. Put this on like this. Sprayed it a bunch of times. I rubbed it in with my glove finger. Got those Bobdale gloves. Support. Legends. I rubbed it in like that. I let it sit, not even for 30 minutes, probably like 15 minutes. And then I took the wire brush to it like this. And it took off all the rust. Not that this bike is even really worth that much, this yellow one. But for, say, like the Hercules, if you did this to the whole bike, it would be worth even more. And it would give it, even if you just go in with the wire brush without even spraying it, it takes off basically all of it. Wow, that's craziness. So that's my lesson to myself today, to clean off a bike. All right, here's a quick example right here. See the bottom piece right here that sticks down? I sprayed that about 15 minutes ago, not even probably. And I'm gonna show you guys how different it's gonna look after spraying it with the Rust-Oleum, wire brushing it. This is obvious for a lot of people, especially people that do bike restorations, but I figured if I can do this, mostly anyone can do it, because I've never really worked on bikes before, other than just for fun. But look at this. It's scraped up a lot, so like the rust goes deep in some areas, but just that little amount of work, bring it back. It's getting nice. All right, another quick thing here that I've been learning. I've done it before, but I went online to find the year of this bike. It is a Schwinn Breeze bicycle. At first, all I did was just look up serial. How old is my Schwinn bicycle? That's all I looked up, and it said look for the serial number on the lower head tube right above the wheel on the front of the bike. So I found it there. The Schwinns produced between 1970 and 1979 have it right there. I could show a close-up. So I went to that, and then I went to bikehistory.org to the serial number lookup, and I put the serial number in, which was FJ. It's already in there again. I went to find and said, congrats, your bike is an original Chicago Schwinn built in June of 1973. So what better information to post an item than to know the year, the month, and the fact that it is an original bike than that. So they do have these serial numbers. I do believe too that in the 70s that these crossbars, I'll show you guys where the serial number is real quick. So if you have an older Schwinn built in the 70s, it should be right there. And I do believe that these are flat on the older ones, and then they became more round over time. I'm pretty sure. But this has the original seat. It has the front plate. It has the original chain guard in good condition. I mean, this bike is minty, as I would say. As I was doing this with the bikes, look who came to watch. Little Rue, baby Rue. Oh, what you got going on, Rue? Taking a little nap. She likes to be right by me. She's funny. I was just thinking about the best way to photograph the bike, and just right here in its natural habitat is probably the coolest. So I'm going to take these pictures so I have them, but what would be really cool is to see this bike in action. So cut to a drone shot of Sammie riding this on the AC boardwalk now.
These chains are finally gone. There's no one to tell me no. These chains are finally gone. There's no one to tell me no. Well, I'm a lonely man now, and I still have time to go. These chains are finally gone. There's no one to tell me no. These chains are finally gone. These chains are finally gone.
So we were just filming some drone shots of the Hercules bike on the boardwalk, and now we're gonna go to this thrift store here in Atlantic City. So a lot of times I like to tell where locations are if people want to check it out. So this is MLK and Atlantic Ave on the corner. We'll see if we can find anything gold in here. The Herc. Thank you. I mean, I'm already claiming this is pretty fire. Is this a real sweatshirt from 1970? That would be insane. How this is.
Oh man. That's a Mercari.
Look at the back. Is that legit?
Is this music copyright or not? That's what I'm wondering.
I would have to say no.
What is this? It's epic.
Look at this. Yo. What though? No way, dude. No way. This place. Yeah.
We love color.
Yeah, I can see that.
You like his pants? Oh, it's got stuff on it.
Hold up. Hold up.
She said hold up.
This is the lady that runs this place.
Yeah.
Omar the barber. Look at this dude. How much for that shirt? Is that what it is? That's nice. That's some flair.
Camera ready?
That's nice, right?
Camera is ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold up.
Look at this, Sammy. Look at this.
Oh man.
Oh!
That's all style right there.
Look at that.
She's rocking that.
That's
Ooh,
that's steezy.
That is steezy. What brand is that?
I got my picture.
She's rocking it though.
Beautiful.
That fits you nice though. You guys see that toothpaste? If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
We don't know. No. Is this your place?
Huh?
Your place?
Yeah. Started 60 years ago.
Been here forever, huh?
As life went on. so it revolved. That's how we started out. We started out in the Black Power movement. Dashikis, Iwos, Abagu, incense, oils, not working for the man, working for yourself. And then there was a gang of us that got together and changed the whole city, political arena of Atlantic City. And then one by one, they chopped them off and they went to work for the man. And I'm still standing, not working for the man.
Last one standing.
Last one standing. And as life went on, I had to keep creating. I was on the most famous street of Atlantic City, 24/7, and it was Kentucky Avenue. And I went from tailoring, I went from that to tailoring, from tailoring to rooms. And that's how I started Thrift, from rooms, stuff that was left over. Then I bought that building, then I bought another building, and I ended up here 60 years later.
So you own this place? The building?
Yeah. And I did not go to work for the man. I made it all on my little sewing machine.
Right there. Still doing it.
Still doing it.
Since 1960.
Since 1960. I met people from all over the world on Kentucky Avenue because they come to Kentucky Avenue. But now, I meet more people. 25 years, I never saw no white people, all black. 25 years. And we come under a segregated town. That's why I said they allow you to go like that in transport. This was totally segregated town. That line right there was the white line. You did not pass over that white line.
What, MLK?
Right here. Atlantic Avenue. That was the sacred ground. The beach was the sacred ground. The north was where you lived. You worked over there, but you didn't party over there. And you didn't eat over there. You didn't sleep over there. You slept over here. So I'm going to give you a present before you leave.
Really? Okay. You could never even tell her to turn it off though, because it was too gold. Does she want us to get back there now?
No. Present.
So there was two boards of trades, right? One white and one black. And when you come to the city, of course under segregation, they look at you and see what you look like. Well, this is where you don't belong here. You belong on the other board of trades. I'm giving you the black board of trades. And you'll never guess what it was called, what they called it. Try to guess in a million years what they called their board of trade. The walk.
The walk. The walk.
I need a pen. But it has a wonderful history. Atlantic City has a wonderful history. But nobody really knows the history of Atlantic City. All they know is a little bit to keep them going. And blacks migrated here from the 1800s, and then the big migration come in 1921. And that's your first Miss America, 1921. This is yours.
Thank you.
This?
Yep. And if you look on here, you will see the shoemaker, 19 North Kentucky Avenue. That's where I started out.
Are you still there?
No, it's all been demolished. Everything's been, that's why I said, if you see this and you go look at it today, there's nothing. There's nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, we have it now.
But
right?
it was a tight-knit community. Doors open wide. You could walk from one end to the other. You were secure. You never had to worry about anybody messing with you until they decided to do a casino.
The casinos.
And that's when I saw my first white customer, 1978.
1978.
So the casinos changed everything.
Yeah. Changed everything. And now we're fighting again because they want to take it back to commission form of government. And they want the casinos to own it. I don't know if you know anything about politics, but commission form of government, they'll appoint 5 people to govern the city of Atlantic City. Whereas now you have 6 wards, and you can go to if you're in the 6th ward, you can go meet your ward leader If you're in the third ward, you can go to him. If you're in the second, you can go to him. If you're in the first, you can go to her. And then there's a mayor. Then you have 3 overseers to make sure that they do the right thing. They want to eliminate it. And we changed it, all that to be that in the 70s. Now they're going to go, whoo.
The power is more divided now, and they want to put it in the hands of 5 people?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we want to buy these 2.
Oh, and can we
Okay.
buy these hangers too?
So you got to quit.
I'll try and explain as best as I can.
Shipping difficulties 101.
Shipping difficulties, and I'm explaining this just in case this does happen to anybody, but I pray to God that it doesn't happen to you guys because I had such bad anxiety over it. Okay, so this girl bought, this is off of Mercari, she bought a jacket off of me on Mercari. It was posted for $300. I dropped it down to $200 for her because she wanted it as a gift for her husband's dad, I think. Her husband or her husband's dad. Okay, so she bought the jacket through Mercari, so I packed up the jacket, printed out the label, and it was through FedEx. So put the label on, dropped it off at our Walgreens because that's where our FedEx ships out of, which is right next to our house. So she messages me like 2 or 3 hours later, and she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Actually, I'll read you because she didn't say those exact words. She said, hey, I thought this was the North Face coat, not this one. I need the large size, not XL. Can we cancel or exchange it? And I was like, I'm going to try and go back and switch it out. And I knew that FedEx hadn't come and picked that specific package up yet because I saw them earlier that day. So I went back to Walgreens, picked up the package, but the problem was the lady scanned it out. So she canceled it. So I brought it back home, and I didn't know that. I'm sorry if I'm not explaining this, but my head's just like... So I went back home, switched the jackets out with the one that she meant to purchase, and I kept the same label on there, brought it back to Walgreens, and the lady tried to scan it back in. She was like, I can't do it. It has to be a completely different shipping label. And that's when the anxiety set in. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, she's not going to get it by his birthday. And what my problem was, I didn't want to cancel the transaction. I was trying to avoid doing that at all because when you cancel a transaction on Mercari, they hold her money. And she already, like, scraped up money because she had messaged me before and said, I only have $150 to give you. Would you accept that? And I was like, no, the lowest I could do is $200. So she had to borrow money from her mom. So I knew that she didn't have money in her account. So I had canceled that transaction. Mercari would have held her money for a week or 2 or however long. And she wouldn't have been able to buy anything. And she wouldn't have gotten the jacket or anything for his birthday. So, long story short, went to FedEx and I was explaining to them just as I'm explaining to you, which is a really long explanation, obviously. And the lady was literally, she was like, so you want to ship this? And I was like, yeah. She was like, okay, here's your receipt. And I was like, that's it? But, like, I swear last night, I don't know if I'm, like, explaining this, like, for you guys to understand, but I had the worst anxiety. Like, oh my gosh. I don't know why. I guess because, like, I like to please my customers. Like, I wanted her to be happy, and she was really nice. And I did tell her last night, like, oh, I'm just going to switch them out and bring them back because I thought that I could do that. But you can't through Walgreens because they're not FedEx. It was just a cashier that works at Walgreens that just scans in on her little thing. So if you ever have that problem, just go straight to FedEx or USPS or whoever you ship through because I tried calling Mercari. I don't even know if it was a real number. I emailed them. They didn't do anything. That's one thing that's a pain in the butt because even like Turner said, like with eBay, you can ship yourself. You can reprint a label, but with Mercari, and this is as far as I know because I spent all night like stressing about it. You can reprint the same label, but you can't reprint a different label with a different tracking number, which is what I needed to do. And that's just crazy because I didn't want to cancel the transaction because then that's just a whole nother like headache. So if that ever happens, just go to FedEx and don't stress out about it like I did. I didn't know. I just figured out the lady at Walgreens couldn't do it. So FedEx, I started getting like really down. I was like, FedEx isn't going to be able to do anything. I did think about this is what I just want to explain this in case anybody else is going through this. I was just going to, because we print through Pirate Ship, which is another shipping platform, because it's a lot cheaper than USPS. Not a lot, but a little cheaper. I was going to print out a completely different label and just pay for the shipping myself, but it wouldn't have been through the app. Like, it's already scanned in Mercari, so if I would have done that, I wouldn't have gotten that money, and the girl could have just kept the jacket and just canceled the transaction. Do you understand? So I hope I explained that well enough. Just go straight to the
Moral of the story, go to your main FedEx store because there's about 4 FedEx stores that come up when you put it in the GPS. But this is the FedEx, Canale Drive FedEx, if you live in the area, EHT.
Sorry.
This is the one that they ship the packages out of.
Yeah.
So see how there's all those FedEx trucks and stuff? Yeah, this is like a facility where they actually have warehouses, is what I'm saying. If it gets here, if anyone's going to be able to figure out your FedEx woes, it's this one, not the other ones. Canada Dry lives across the street. Mm-hmm. Do you think they give them like ginger ale for Christmas?
Maybe.
Alright, we're back home now at the house. And earlier today we went to this really awesome thrift store. And I kind of freaked out a little bit. Because I got this sweatshirt. And basically I'm under the impression that it's like a Urban Outfitters remake or something like that, or like a reprint of a sweatshirt that was made in 1972, because it is distressed looking. There's no tags, but you can tell that the distressing of the lettering was actually in the screen printing of it too, and it just looks too new to be that old. But you never know when you're going in thrift stores like that. You never know. I still think this was worth it because I only paid $1 for it. So that's a little claim. And I picked up, let me show you guys this. This is pretty cool. This is vintage though. This shirt smells a little bit. Good Morning Vietnam, all embroidered on the front. Pretty bizarre shirt, but definitely a cool find. So like $2 I paid, and the woman that owns the thrift store was so cool, and she had all this information about Atlantic City and the history of Atlantic City and Atlantic City politics and how they're trying to change it, and just really some cool people in the world if you're open to, you know, talking with people. It's always cool to have the camera on you too, because you can capture epic moments like that. But it would be great to go back and just get like an interview of the lady. She was so cool and knowledgeable. It was kind of like, I've said it before, but like life has come full circle once again. Like, she started on the sewing machine, her business. She's been through, 60 years of owning and changing businesses, and she's still there today on the sewing machine. So it's like, I guess never forget where you came from. But these two were scores. That's definitely not a vintage Pink Floyd shirt, but still really cool. I really can see why people love those Hurricane bikes though, because after seeing Sammie ride it and riding it a little myself, it is like a really good bike, and it goes actually fast. Like, you can actually get places on that thing. So going into the backyard, I did not take pictures of the Schwinn yet, but I'm going to take them right now. And then I'm going to put this one up on Facebook Marketplace. But thank you guys for watching the video today. It's a little bit cold out. We got some great news earlier today from a contact that we're going to be working with soon. I don't want to really give away too much information about it, but it will be a really, really great and cool opportunity for me and Sammie coming next month sometime. So stay tuned for that. And I just want to say, like always, stay positive, everyone, and just have a positive outlook. Always be open to new and interesting experiences like that lady today. That was awesome. But keep your head up. Keep pushing, everyone. You!